Howdy folks, my name's Eric.
I'm Cole.
And welcome to our first official video. So today we are taking off on our first leg of the journey from Edmonton, Alberta, all the way down to Dallas, Texas.
That's the plan, but day one we're going to be going Edmonton to Lethbridge, and what we'll do here is we'll give you a view of the rigs and see what we're bringing down and let you see the issues that we might have with that.
All right, so we'll just go over my truck real quick here. So this is a 2001 Dodge Ram 3500 Dually extended cab, and I am towing a 36-foot long gooseneck trailer with I think it's a 1967 International, not a Scout, Travelall. And this is my vehicle. It's just a Jeep 2010 JK. Pretty heavy on here for what my truck can tow. As far as I understand, for legality's sake in the United States, 26,000 is kind of the max that you can really do with a commercial license. You can see inside here, it's a little bit of a custom job with the dash and stuff. People who know the Dodge Rams know that the dashes like to explode, and I kind of didn't want to deal with replacing that, so now I have an ugly looking dash. And just a little peek under the hood, I guess. So you might notice I got a P pump swap. Originally this truck was a VP truck, but I got fed up with it after a while and decided to throw a P pump in there. And just a few other upgrades too. I got the Aggressor 60, 67. Had that on the road towing earlier and keeps the engine nice and cool, so I'm pretty happy about that. Yeah, that's it for now. I'm sure you'll be getting lots of good long shots of the engine bay as I inevitably break down on the road.
Hey guys, so we're doing my rig now. It's a 97 Ram 2500, dually rear axle, 17,500 pound winch on the front on 35-inch tires. She's got about 495,000 kilometers on it right now, so that should be good for getting us down there. So for the back half of the truck, we got hand-built aluminum flat deck that's still a work in progress, but that'll get me there. Got my wood stove. My dad built that, so I got to take that with me. 6,500 watt Honda generator. Spare tire for the trailer, and the old factory spare for that International. Old bias ply, so it's kind of fun. Then we got our 30-foot enclosed. We have insulated the entire front. We have 2x6 rock wool in the floor, 1.5 inch polyiso insulation all around the interior, all down the walls on both sides. Covered that in 3/8 plywood. There's a little view if you guys can see. So we got bed, couch, storage. It's an absolute mess right now. I'll be sleeping up there. AC in the roof, 1,500 and 500 BTU unit. So keep us cool where we're going, hopefully. And yeah, that's the rig.
So there's been a lot of work and a lot of planning and stuff that's happened up until this point. We didn't put it on video because this kind of feels like the clean break, fresh start. And this is kind of where we wanted to start filming and showing everybody what exactly we're doing.
what appears to be the issue?
That right there.
Oh yeah, good thing we keep spares of those, huh?
Yeah, I got 3.
You have 3.
I got 3.
I got 1. It's just mighty gross.
Yeah, like after we stopped at the UFA,
Yeah.
I noticed I kind of lost my AC, and then I saw my temperatures going way up. I was like, well,
AC is the first thing you notice.
yeah.
The important one, right?
Yeah. So yeah, now I got to fish all these pieces of belt out of here and throw a new belt on. Maybe after my truck stops burning me.
Yeah, good start. Day in the life, right?
Not the first time this has happened, though.
No, it's better than what, minus 30 on the side of the road on the way to pick up a skidoo.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're in High River. What, another couple hours to get to Lethbridge, and we should be all right. We got enough daylight, so, and a trailer full of tools.
Yeah. And we can sleep here.
And we can sleep here. Sure hope not. Nice old man drove by, had a good conversation with him.
This is just screaming hot. Everything's hot.
Everything's hot. Don't touch the rod, don't touch rod hoses, don't touch anything. Maybe that guy lives there.
I don't know if I'm gonna get all this out, which is fine because it doesn't need to all come out.
You want me to grab a garbage bag?
Sure.
Okay.
Maybe that's a good question to ask anybody who's watching this. Does engine oil eventually cause these belts to degrade and explode? It seems likely, in my experience.
Yeah.
All right, should try to get this new one on.
Yeah, you want me top or bottom? Please say top.
What's down there? I think that's a little bit more.
Well, there's some on the frame rail there too.
In the clutch plate.
Oh, that's fun. You want me to hit your switch so it pulls out?
Yeah, sure.
Good?
Yeah.
On again?
Okay. It should be good. Maybe it's not a terrible idea to check my oil level just after that little peek under there.
I keep a rag by his battery because we do this all the time. Just because it appeared in my hand. Plenty of oil.
Too much oil.
Still too much.
Belt number 1.
Well, number 2.
Replacement belt number 1.
Is that got all the splines on it still?
Yes.
Well, you might lose one of those. So the reason this is happening is because we did a alternator upgrade on our trucks. 200 amp Delco 28 SIs, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And his pulley's just not quite lined up.
It's the AC.
Oh, that's been an issue too.
I think it's fine now, though.
Other than the reason we're here.
Yeah. Okay. You can go under now. Please?
Oh, me.
Yes.
I thought you were talking to the belt.
No.
Did you go around the fan yet?
Yeah. You just got to pull it down.
Well,
Maybe.
okay.
There you go.
Can you,
Okay, pull. What are you caught on?
the fan.
There we go.
Okay, so where are we with everything?
Okay, just pull. It should be free-ish.
Okay, hold on. What's going on here?
Just pull.
I gotta go around on the driver's side.
No, it's just stuck in between the radiator and the fan.
Okay.
Just pull. There you go.
All right. Here you go. You get it?
Look good?
Yeah, my two are good.
Mine are good?
Yeah, everything looks good. Bring some more eggs.
Well, I'm thankful that that was not a hard thing to fix. Let's see. Yeah, brand new belt. Pretty easy thing to do. But no guarantees that it get easier.
Where'd you go? Well, it's the end of day 1. Made it to Lethbridge, and we only had one little breakdown, so.
So if we only have one breakdown per day, got 7, 8 more breakdowns, so we'll deal with that as it comes, I suppose.
We got really lucky. Eric called me and said he needed fuel earlier than we thought, and as soon as we pulled out of the UFA there, belt blew off, so
Yeah.
couldn't have been a better place.
As you probably saw in the video. Maybe you didn't see it, I don't know. I don't know if we got footage of it. I think the first time we were recording, we just kind of forgot about the microphone, so we might splice in some footage of like me holding up a completely shredded belt or something like that, but yeah. Oh yeah.
And the wine is here.
The wine has arrived.
Come on out. Come on in.
I'm not coming in.
You're not coming in the shot. We'll just cut it out.
It doesn't get cut out. Thank you very much.
It's a briquette.
I don't know what that means.
Try it.
And then
I think we'll go to the border
yeah, okay. So we're gonna pick up tomorrow.
in a couple days.
In a couple days. What are you doing tomorrow?
Editing this.
You want to have some footage of golfing and
Action shots. But yeah, so stick around and we will pick up where we left off today. From Lethbridge to the border.
howdy, welcome to day 2.
We're heading to the border today. So that's where we'll probably end off, leave you on a bit of a cliffhanger, and you'll have to tune back in to see if we make it. Short and sweet.